Well, why do you want to become Akshay Kumar every single time?
We were laughing at something else and not what you had in mind.
I just joined.
Why do you want to become Akshay Kumar in every single bit when RCB is involved in this? Because it became kind of a slow burning thriller. But it was 20-30 runs too few. And because of that, RCB have lost at home for the third straight time. Punjab Kings have registered a 5-wicket win on the back of Nehal Vadera's attacking knock. Yes, there were some tensions when Prabh Simran, Priyan Sharia, Shreyas Iyer, all were undone by a superb spill from Josh Hazlewood, 3 wickets. But in the end, not many teams, every day a Punjab Kings-like situation will happen. Okay, 95 was too few, too little, on a pitch that looked more like Perth and Cape Town rather than Chinnaswamy. Punjab Kings have come out victors and they are now the second team after the Delhi Capitals to make it to 10 points.
Will they be at the top of the points table?
No.
Perhaps not,
I
but
don't
we can
think so.
always check.
I think maybe.
No, I don't think so.
It's not updated. What's their net run rate? I think it's better. They are in positive, right?
Yeah, positive, but I don't think they will have enough net run rate to ensure that they topple Delhi Capitals. So let's see how it pans out at this stage. But again, Punjab Kings were troubled. But at the same time, there is only one team that has to take the entire blame for this loss. The one entity is the RCB batting. Now, it's now 7, make your own thala for a reason jokes. WPL 2025 plus 3 games at home.
The fans will say you're mixing the two things.
WPL, yeah.
No. RCB WPL started brilliantly, but when they came home, lost everything.
That's two different teams, no? That's two different outfits at the end of the day. It's the same
Different
brand.
dynamics. You don't know what the conditions then, opponents, all of these things.
PBKS are still in second. Yeah, RCB have slipped to 4th because of this loss. But then see, you just are not able to win at home. How many times have we said that for teams? They can't win at home. They have won 4 games, but all the 4 games have been away from the Chinnaswamy. Today, the batters need to take a good look in the mirror and say, what were we doing? What were you doing? Phil Salt, Virat Kohli, Rajat Patidar,
27 runs and all from the 3.
Jitesh Sharma, Livingston. You all think that Glenn Maxwell's form with the bat for either RCB or PBKS was a nightmare. Look at it for PBKS and RCB. What has Liam Livingston done? Yes, he might have gotten you one vital knock in one of the games, but that doesn't excuse him from the fact that for 2-3 seasons, Livingston's been a living nightmare. Jitesh, normally such an assured player of spin. Today he played such a tame sweep shot. Good catch though, Nehal Vadera. Tim David gave you something to bowl at. That's what the bowlers wanted. And had it not been for David, 63 for 9. We would have been 20-30 minutes into this debate already.
And another 20-25 odd runs and it would have been tough for Punjab Kings here.
I don't think Punjab Kings would have chased it down, looking at the way how Hazlewood was bowling. So today, RCB's batters need to ask themselves, what were you doing? What are you doing at home? Why can't you adapt to home conditions?
Okay, are we all on the same page as far as where RCB fell short? The answer to that, I believe, is the batting department. Perhaps the bowling didn't have or don't have much to be blamed for. Are we on the same page over there?
I think bowlers really have to be credited for putting up a fight here, because had it not been for Nehal Vadera's cameo, it would have been, I think, even more difficult for Punjab Kings. The batting is to be blamed, and more importantly, I think it's their shot selection. I can still understand that, it was more of a two-paced wicket, or maybe doing something for both the pacers and the spinners, turning away for Suyash Sharma. Josh Hazlewood bowling on a pitch, maybe, it was like someone must have told him, that it is a Perth pitch. You consider that to be the case, when bowling to Punjab Kings batters. But I think it's their batting that has to be blamed. 95, even in a curtailed game and even on a tough pitch, it is never really going to be a match-winning score.
I think it definitely goes down to the batting. The majority of the thing, I think they batted absolutely recklessly. They should have re-evaluated, recalculated in the middle at least once a couple of wickets had fallen early. Once they were at a situation where the score was down to 40 odd for 3-4 wickets, there they could have re-evaluated. Krunal Pandya, when he came out, could have let go of that shot. Jitesh Sharma as well could have applied himself a little bit. Today he looked. See, again, I feel this is what happens in rain-curtailed games as well. Subconsciously, you sort of get a little relaxed. If not relaxed, you get a little casual for sure. And that's, I think, what we exactly saw with the Royal Challengers Bengaluru as well. In the middle, where we saw Jitesh Sharma, more often than not, you won't see him play the sweep shot so casually the way he actually did today. The kind of form he's been in, you would have expected him to at least put his body behind the ball, bend properly, and then go for that sweep shot. It would have been better timed and gone into the stands as well. You never know. So that definitely happens. But once you had lost those wickets, you could have realized that maybe these 2 points, how important these 2 points are, and then Krunal Pandya and Jitesh Sharma could have really anchored the innings, and then Tim David would have done what he did at the end. Those 20 runs would have definitely helped. But some bowling calls at the end as well, where Surya Sharma was bowled in this last over, where Nehal Vadera completely took him apart. I think those decisions a little bit here and there, maybe they could have come even more closer, but more 90% it is the batting who is to be blamed.
I think that's where even I also agree that maybe the decision to have Bhuvneshwar Kumar, it did make sense ahead of Suyash Sharma, because had he got a couple of wickets there, things would have been completely different. But then going in with Suyash also, I think it's not really a captaincy blunder, because Rajat Patidar, he had to manage his options very well. You would wanted to also have an option wherein your best bowlers are being preserved for the last 2 overs if need that be, but that wasn't the case. So overall, I don't think there was much wrong with the captaincy thing. I think he still tried his best, made sure that he had Josh Hazlewood complete his full quota of overs, because that was RCB's probably best chance to restrict Punjab Kings if there had to be the case, but that did not happen. But overall, I think nothing much wrong with the captaincy. Once again, I think it's just down to the batting. 95 of even on a very tough wicket to bat on, 9 on 10 times is never going to be a match-winning score.
One bowler could bowl 4 and rest.
No. 3 bowlers.
4 bowlers could bowl 3 overs each, and 1 bowler 2 overs.
Yeah. Okay, now look at the batting. The combined total, when you look at it, 4 of 4, 1 of 3, that is 5 of 8, 7, okay? 4 of 6, which makes it 9 out of 13. 2 of 7, 11 out of 20. Then 12 out of 22. I'm counting only the single digit scores. 13 of 26, 21 of 39, and 22 of 40. What does that give you? 22 of 40 from 8 to 9 batters at just a woeful strike rate of over 50.
I think where RCB fell short in this match, and I think they would have realized that at the halfway stage as well, that the game was half done. It was self-inflicted panic. The time that they lost the toss, the time that they were forced into bat first, I think everyone knew that it was a crucial toss that they lost. But you take that, whatever it is, you need to apply yourself, and that's where I think more than one RCB batter, their entire top order, including the captain, who, by the way, was the second best batter for RCB on the day. But that is, when you look at the overall picture, that's not saying much, because he managed 23 of 18. It just tells you how poorly the other batters performed. So this whole haste and this whole urgency to score runs quickly, because the game was cut short from 20 overs to 14 overs, I think they forgot to recalibrate themselves, and this was not as straightforward a wicket where you could have hit through the line. The stroke making wasn't that easy at the Chinnaswamy today. I know it's going against what you expect Chinnaswamy to be, but that's what you expect from quality sides, that they adapt to the conditions. And today, the fact that the match had been curtailed to 14 overs and you weren't sure how many runs then had to be scored, that whole calculation not just from the batters who went to the middle. I think part of the responsibility also lies with the backroom staff in terms of breaking things down. We've seen, successful team even in the game's bigger format, in 50-over format as well. They try and break situations down. They try and break the chase down, or they try to break down the innings. Today, in terms of their innings progression, there wasn't much progression at all. There was just there was a constant lull, followed by a huge shot that went right up towards the end because of a Tim David. Otherwise, it was all going downhill. It was all going flat. And then came that burst from Tim David that just, if on a graph you were to plot things, which will be, an arc that will go right up. But otherwise, I felt there wasn't much planning in terms of how they wanted to go about those 14 overs, and the match was half done for me at the halfway stage.
But that's been the problem with the Bengaluru side all throughout this IPL. Until and unless their 1, 2 or 3 does not fire, I think they more often than not go on and struggle. We have seen that with them a lot of times. Tim David definitely has given finishings on occasions. Jitesh Sharma has done that as well. But and Krunal Pandey hasn't really contributed with the bat. Livingston, I think Sidvi sir did touch upon to begin with. So on occasions, if the top 3 fail to deliver, then more often than not, the middle order is never ready to stand up and do that job for them. But I think Harshit sir has mentioned this about the Gujarat Titans as well previously, but with Gujarat Titans, at least people have at some occasion chipped in with runs. Over here, nobody really has raised their hands and really decided that, okay, if the top 3 hasn't performed well today, I will make sure that the team crosses the line. Jitesh Sharma had an opportunity today. Tim David, again, like I mentioned, has done it on occasions. This is the second time that he's finished well for RCB, but somebody from the middle order apart from him also will need to step up if they really want this year to be their year.
See, is it a psychological block, or RCB just don't have any plans? Okay, what is the common trend? In all the 3 games that they have lost at home, they have batted first. You look at the game that they played first time at home, GT, they batted first, they failed. You look at the game versus DC, they batted first, they failed. You look at the game today, batted first, they failed. Is there a psychological block in the team management, team decision making, that they don't know what a par total is in the Chinnaswamy? Or are they just psychologically spooked when they lose the toss and, the opposition has got to chase it down? Because if you look at even 2024, I think the resurgence came towards the fag end when they chased. I don't think they defended totals. If you look at the proportion of the wins, I think if you look at it, majority will be chasing. Is there a huge problem, and what can you pinpoint that there is a huge problem for RCB when they bat first? Is it total? Is it just spooked at the toss? Or what is the factor? What do you guys think?
I think first of all, all this chat about teams not having that home advantage in IPL this season should be actually thrown out of the window. It's as simple as that. I think there have been plenty instances wherein teams have struggled at home, they have struggled at overseas, not overseas, but in different conditions. And if you talk about maybe RCB here, 3 losses in a row at the M. Chinnaswamy Stadium, their home ground, which is supposed to be their strongest suit and where they should enjoy some kind of an advantage. That hasn't been the case. But then I would never say this thing that the pitch hasn't favored them or something like that. It's just down to the fact that you haven't really adapted well. You talk about any of the teams who haven't done well at home, it will never be down to the curator. It will never be down to the fact that you want a certain pitch in your own way. It should always be down to the fact that whatever conditions you are being given, you have to adapt to it. And this is very much clear from RCB's performances also. Even if, conditions are favorable for them, even in the past also, they have failed to perform. And even this time around, if the pitches aren't really conducive to their style of batting or bowling, that's still okay. You have to adapt. You have to find a way. That's what Delhi Capitals have done. That's what Punjab Kings have done. And that's what Gujarat Titans have done so far. And that's why they are clearly the most consistent sides in the IPL so far. So you talk about RCB and you talk about home advantage. I think let's just throw it out of the window. Clearly there is let's not just blame the curators. Let's not blame anyone for the fact that the home teams are not really given any advantage. You are failing to adapt. and that's why you're losing.
No adaptation. That is one.
I kind of don't agree over here. I think home advantage has to be there, and that's how teams, when they sit at the auction table, they know that they have to play 7 games at home, and that's how they formulate their team as well. A very big reason why Chennai went for so many spinners this time in Noor, Ashwin, Jadeja, they already had. That was the the pitch of Chepauk. There's a reason why the Chennai Super Kings for so many years were not defeated at the Chepauk by RCB, by Delhi, by so many teams. Same for Mumbai Indians. For so many years, Mumbai Indians, it's their fortress because of this reason that they make their team such that suits the home conditions. And I think that's a fair advantage. That hasn't been the case in this IPL, and I think for the Royal Challengers Bengaluru, the problem is that this time the wicket hasn't been the same RCB wicket that we have seen for so many years. This time the wicket is a little slow, a little more sticky as compared to what we have seen in so many years, and it's not ideal for batting. And that has just a plus. What has added is that they have been losing the toss. So when they are coming out to bat, they're not able to formulate what the right total is. But now they've played 3 games over here. By now they should have realized maybe today would have been the day, but again today whatever score they would have formulated, now the game came down to 14, so again all that calculations went for a toss.
What do you think?
The way I look at this is, see, on a day like this, on a pitch like this, I expect 2 batters to be rescuing their team. And that is Rajat Patidar and Virat Kohli. These are the kind of situations in which the 2 batters who can be explosive according to their will and are not naturally explosive batters. They're surrounded by batters otherwise for whom the first instinct is to go after the big shots. But with them, they're the ones to adapt, they're the ones to play to the situation. That's what I think this team is modeled around. Otherwise, you see batters before them or beneath them are all those who you can ask to start hitting from the first ball. So on wickets like this, especially at home or when they're going away, I think these batters will have a very crucial role to play, because there's only so much you will expect out of the others in terms of adaptation. So if they aren't adapting on most days, what happened with RCB today will happen again and again. That's what I see. And today there weren't many runs. I think 23 and 1. So just 24 runs that you saw from the 2 experienced players, and they struggled as a result. The others, to whom aggression and those big shots come as first instinct, they went for their shots and they paid a heavy price for that, and look where the team ended.
So lack of adaptability, no contribution from the top, and what is your key factor then? Why are they struggling then? There's a common trend, 3 matches, they've just...
that they're not able to assess the conditions fully till now. They don't know what the right total is.
Adaptability then.
Yeah, so if until and unless they're not chasing it, because they haven't even chased till now over here, I think that's been a problem. It's just added to the problem.
So look at it now, because of this, the stat that has come up, most defeats at a venue in the IPL, you are tied, RCB were tied with the Delhi Capitals. Now RCB are ahead with the most defeats for a team in a home venue for them. Imagine RCB have lost more in Bengaluru, and that is why it's no longer their home. And before we get to Punjab Kings, hashtag not my home ground. Will RCB social media be trending that? Because look at it, most losses at home. It's worst record for a home team in the IPL.
And that's the reason why they haven't been successful for the last 18 years. If you aren't successful at your home ground, I think that's going to be a problem, because you're going to play 7 out of the 14 games there itself.
To answer your question, Siddharth, again, this one and the previous one, it's very difficult being RCB at times, I think. Because if you prepare a side,
ever easy.
It is very difficult because see, the game has progressed so much, and you're no longer dependent on 1 or 2 batters to be those explosive batters. There's not just one Kyron Pollard or a Russell who would back then do the job for you. Now there's every second or third batter in the side is expected to have that kind of prowess and explosive ability. Now RCB over all these years had made teams full of dashers, and the paramount importance for them was to win all those 7 matches at home. It happened at times, more often than not it didn't, but the focus always was to win home matches. And where did they then struggle? Whenever they had to visit, they used to forget that they also have to play 7 games away. This time at the auction, you felt that there was some sort of a balance that they managed to strike or wanted to strike. The only big batter in terms of personality, in terms of explosive ability, is Tim David that they've gone with. Otherwise, they've gone with batters, and now they've added a Phil Salt as well up top.
Liam Livingston as well.
So all of that, it gave you a feeling that they aren't just looking at winning the home matches, they're also looking at winning the away matches as well. But what has happened as a result is, because other teams have also buckled up and have upped their game, now RCB don't know how to win at home. They may now have found the code, they may have cracked the code as to how to win away, but how to win home matches, losing tosses isn't helping, and that's where I think they're caught at the moment.
Are you too reliant on the toss? But does toss make a difference? I mean,
At this venue, Siddharth, you have to
At
agree.
least at this point it does.
Yeah, at this venue, I think toss becomes very crucial. I'm not saying this is the only factor basis which that they are
wouldn't
losing.
This approach would have been absolutely perfect if the RCB, if the Chinnaswamy wicket was showing characteristics of Chinnaswamy wicket. It's not. If it was, I think this would have been the right approach to go about it. It's just that the wicket is not playing as flat as it used to for so many years. This time it's very, very different. All the games that we have seen till now over here, the ball hasn't really come well onto the bat. And also plus they've again, I feel one more thing I don't agree here is that they've again gone with most of the dashers only, be it Tim David, Liam Livingston. Virat Kohli's role is defined that for that's why I don't blame Virat Kohli either, because I think it was his role to go out and start just hitting all the balls if he gets out on the first ball, or he ends up playing all the 20 overs. His job is just to hit, and I think he's doing that, and rightfully so, and so is Phil Salt's job to do that. And the job to assist the conditions, I think it was starting Rajat Patidar onwards, but I don't know, they somehow just missed it. They did not really assess, or it took them time to understand, but by the time they could have understand, it was already way too late. This time what they have changed in the auction is that they have a good bowling lineup. And why this lineup is looking good as far as bowling is concerned, because Josh Hazlewood has been doing really well in this IPL, and plus the spinners have also really stepped up. Otherwise I wouldn't have been surprised if RCB would have not been at this position where they are right now. It's just Hazlewood and the two spinners who have really stepped up till now, and that's why they find themselves in a comfortable position, at least on the ball.
although the spinners also very inconsistent. Krunal good in one game, but cold in
Suyash
the
has
other.
been good all throughout.
Suyash also again good in one game but bad in the other. It's not that both are doing well. If both are doing well, that's only 1 or 2 games. But otherwise, when you look at the common trend in their losses also, either the spinners are not doing well. Josh Hazlewood for once had a good game at the Chinnaswamy. He kept them alive, but it was too low total for them to do. But then coming to
Let's spend some time talking about Josh Hazlewood.
Yeah.
He
on the
should be,
Perth wicket.
he should be mighty proud of what he did in his personal capacity, and as somebody with a neutral stance to the match, I really enjoyed watching him bowl. None of the batters really looked comfortable facing him, and especially the last over that he bowled, making very good use of the bounce when I think Vadera tried to attack him. Vadera had absolutely no clue of what Hazlewood was going to bowl, but as we had said, this wicket is going to test him. He's leaked runs, I know, in the past few matches, but today in this low scoring encounter, hats off to the prowess that we saw, that the discipline with which he bowled. The hard lengths, we've said that time and again about Josh Hazlewood. He really found the hard lengths today, and what he lacked today was, I think, enough contribution from the batters, because if there were good 20 odd runs, that spell could actually have been a match winning spell for RCB.
I think if one of the things that I really liked about Hazlewood's spell today was that on a small ground like the Chinnaswamy, sometimes even as an express pace bowler, you are a little skeptical of bowling those hard lengths consistently or the back of a length deliveries, because that there are going to be multiple top edges flying around to third man or fine leg. But this time around, I think he was very much sure after the first couple of balls that even if I do it consistently, there won't be too many top edges, because any which ways he was getting a lot of steep bounce.
Yeah.
You look at the catches that Jitesh Sharma held on to. It was even difficult for him to do that.
Yeah.
So that's what I really liked about him. And overall, I think you mentioned it very well, that there was clearly lack of support from the batters. I think we mentioned it earlier that another 20 odd runs, and maybe the team that has been on the winning end in this match would have been a different team.
I mean, today look at both the tall fast bowlers, in Marco Jansen and Josh Hazlewood. I mean, when they got the lengths, man, it looked as if Chinnaswamy had transformed into Perth or Cape Town. I mean, the one most Jitesh taking that last ball, I had to absolutely leap to ensure that he got the ball. Otherwise, it was 4 byes. It was just going. So that is why I think today Josh
He would have
Hazlewood
plucked a couple of apples if he had jumped any further.
Yeah, he might have been a very shararti kid back in the day. Because what's happening is he's leaping brilliantly and just grabbing them brilliantly. So that is why if only those 15-20 runs extra. And this is where you'll have to credit Punjab
Should we
Kings.
say in a 15 over game, I don't think 15 runs are only 14 over game.
See,
They were well short, to be honest.
they were well shot, 15-20, but then see, they were made to sweat for those 96 runs here. I mean, just how many? 3-9, and you just had, you only had how much? 1.5, 11 balls. Who knows what could have happened?
I think 120 or 125 and we could have had a last ball thriller.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we very well could have. And I don't think a PBKS would have crossed the line. But the damage was done. If you look at the Hazelwood spell, you look at all the others. PBKS most likely have the tallest bowling lineup when you look at IPL. Because you got a Jansen, 6'8". Last 2 games, he's been outstanding.
You have Arshdeep also,
Who's quite
Harpreet
tall.
Brar, even Xavier Bartlett
Xavier
is
Bartlett
also.
Jansen.
Locky was there before.
Gujarat.
Gujarat, yes. You got Siraj, Prasidh, Ishant, Rabada,
Sai Kishore.
Sai Kishore. So that is why, see, the 2 tallest fast bowling units have gained tremendous success here. They choked the RCB batters into ensuring that, okay, the runs just weren't coming. Today, Marco Jansen, what a spell yet again. 2 for 10 in 3 overs and continues. I think overall now he's gotten 7 overs. I think he's gotten 5 for 27, if I'm not mistaken. Because in the Kolkata game, he got 3 wickets. Look at Arshdeep. After getting hit for 2 boundaries, but got the wicket that
Virat Kohli.
Virat Kohli, UZ Chahal. 4 wickets and now 2 for 11. Ex-RCB hurting RCB. Where have we heard
Yuzi
that?
is well and truly back.
Yeah.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And that is why I say that are Punjab Kings now looking the total package, or do you think there are problems still for them?
There are a lot of problems for them, according to me. I think bowling bits. I think it's just Josh Hazelwood who actually inspires confidence in this bowling.
Punjab Kings.
Punjab Kings.
Yeah.
Punjab Kings. I think, or more than half of the job is done for them.
No, but are they
Are they
looking as a
looking the
complete
complete
package?
package?
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
they the real deal?
They seem to be the real deal at this point of time.
I still feel that in case of Punjab, see Josh Inglis coming in for Glenn Maxwell, although Marcus Stoinis was the one who came in for Glenn Maxwell in this game, but overall Josh Inglis coming in is still a good sign. I'm sure that he's going to get a lot of runs as he plays the next few matches. Hopefully he plays it because he is in good form as a T20 batter. I'm still skeptical about a couple of players here. It's obviously Shashank Singh and Marcus Stoinis. See, I think there's going to be a shuffle between Marcus Stoinis and Glenn Maxwell as the tournament goes on. Shreyas Iyer will have to decide as to who is that particular Australian all-rounder that he would go on with. Ideally, I would want to give a chance to someone like an Azmatullah Omarzai because neither Stoinis nor Maxwell is inspiring any confidence at all. Even Shashank Singh also as a batter, as a finisher, he hasn't done the required job in the last couple of matches. So these are the 2 slots in the middle order that I feel are relatively weak for Punjab Kings. But as a bowling unit, Bartlett is here. He's bowling at express pace. Arshdeep in great form. So is Marco Jansen. Harpreet Brar is a great addition, and Yuzi coming back into form is a brilliant sign for Punjab Kings. So overall, almost an 8.5 on 10, I would say. If Shashank can strike form and if they can figure out who they want to play as the final overseas player in either Marcus Stoinis or Maxwell or Azmatullah Omarzai, I think they should be good.
Worried about Shreyas Iyer's form? Because after starting well, couple of games when you look at it, he has, once he's gone out of Mulanpur, he has kind of struggled. Last game also, 2-ball duck. Here, you knew there was a stat. Hazelwood, 12 runs, 2 dismissals. Now it's become 3 dismissals. Do you think, yes, he's gotten 257 runs at 51.4, but 350s, out of that, I think there are 290s, if I'm not mistaken.
Average of 51.
No, but then, again, see, 7 matches, but 250s out of the 3, I think, are 90s, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
One's a 97, the other's a
80 something.
89 or something.
89, yeah. So, 185, but then the other 5, when you look at it, some concern areas for Shreyas Iyer. See, captain-wise, he's like doing great. There's no question about his captaincy. But Shreyas Iyer, the batter, do you think he's in danger of tapering off?
No, he's an average of 50, striking at 190. Is that right?
Yes,
See,
but
a couple of dry games for him that ways. But I think you're allowed those few bad games in the middle as well. Look at those big knocks that he's played. He looked very assured, and for the most part, I think he's looked assured this season. The captaincy, the environment, whatever he tried to have, and the conditions that he's been presented as well. I think he's taken to the whole system like fish to water. He is enjoying life. At least that's the impression I get. And his batting, those of course big not hundreds, but those big knocks of course put him in good stead. But I don't think there's a worry really, because I don't see a pattern in terms of dismissals yet for Shreyas Iyer. Teams have tried to bounce him out at times. I think there's only one time he got out playing the pull shot, if I remember correctly.
But then what about a cut shot? I think that's what resulted in his downfall against KKR. Even here, it was kind of a shortish length that ensured that Hazelwood got
I think he misread the length today, which was not just his mistake. I think the other batters around him also were guilty, especially I'd say both the openers of Punjab were guilty of misjudging the length and tried going for the shots when the shots weren't on, according to me. So yes, when you set such high standards for yourself, anything less than a 50 then feels like a bit of a disappointment. But he should be fine. Otherwise, he showed that he's got the confidence and he's played all his strokes very easily with a lot of ease.
And for them, their openers have done contributions. They have been hot and cold. It's not like they've been in tremendous form, but they have done the contributions. Shreyas Iyer, we just talked about. Josh Inglis now comes in the middle, so that looks like a little better middle order. Nehal Vadera has made contributions today, a match-winning knock from him. Then Shashank Singh, 150 and 140 odd, he has also got. And that is also, we are saying that he's not in great form. They have a Stoinis, Marco Jansen. Harpreet Brar, I don't know if they'll stick on to Harpreet Brar or not moving forward. Maybe they'll get in a fast bowler and then get in a Glenn Maxwell in place of Stoinis. That's how they're going to play with Stoinis and Maxwell, and that will depend on if Brar will play or Vijay Kumar Vishyak or Yash Thakur will play. So all of these things will matter, but they look like a settled unit. I think good bowling unit, good batting unit, and I think now they should be feeling assured at this point. I think 2-3 teams, Delhi, Punjab and Gujarat at this point, are almost but certainty in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow it's actually the...
Yeah, if Gujarat wins tomorrow, then I think 3 teams almost assured.
And it is the halfway point. Every team would have played 7, so for 8 teams now, the halfway stage is done for them. And tomorrow, with GT and DC playing against each other, they will also complete the halfway point. And now...
8th game it will be for the who's playing the second game tomorrow?
LSG and RR.
That will be their 8th
game. Yeah.
For Delhi though, it's the 7th match.
Yeah, it'll be
And
7th for
GT
even
as well.
GT. Yeah. Everybody, tomorrow when GT and DC play,
That's the halfway stage.
That's
officially.
the official halfway stage. So Punjab Kings are looking very, very assured with 10 points. They now join Delhi Capitals, who still remain on top. Tomorrow, maybe a Gujarat Titans can join them with 10 and they will be on top then. If Delhi Capitals win, they just need another 2 wins then to seal a spot in the playoffs, the first team. So,
No, at 18 is what you get a Q.
16 also.
16 you don't get a Q, I
You don't
think.
get a Q. At
You
18
all but get a Q.
Yeah,
At 16.
you can get to 16, but basis on how the teams at the bottom then end up performing, you then give yourself the chance to get a Q when some other team is playing.
Yeah, maybe in this case, because the gaps are so small. I mean, from number 1 to number 7, I think it's only been separated by 4 points. So I think, perhaps 16 might
Are we
not be enough.
willing to say now that RR, SRH and CSK are truly
we did.
We
truly,
did it
truly
yesterday.
out of
all
the race?
got out. That's what we said.
But the one team that can throw the spanner is Chennai Super Kings. If they
Even now?
beat MI, because they are playing MI on Sunday and they are playing SRH after that. So if
you're saying 2 more wins for them, so that should take them to 8 points.
yeah, they can actually upset the entire apple cart.
Okay.
And even MI are taking on SRH. So in somewhere
They'll cut each other
they'll
out.
cut each other out. That's
if SRH go on and beat Chennai and Mumbai both, they'll automatically go ahead of Mumbai Indians. Then.
Yes, anything can happen. So
Get interesting.
it'll be very interesting. But then SRH on current form, I don't know whether they can do that. But yes, MI SRH will happen in Hyderabad. So we don't know how that will pan out to be. So CSK Hyderabad will be in Chepauk.
Oh.
That's the problem. That's where I see the problem. is.
Present SRH isn't giving me much hope at Chepauk, and that's
Yeah.
the last place possibly they would be wanting to visit.
Yeah, so let's take some comments for this match. And indeed, I don't think many people will be happy with what has happened. If you're a RCB fan, you will be furious, absolutely furious at this stage. So, okay. Dhanush is saying, great effort by David, Josh. Destiny is Virat Kohli to retire without winning an IPL trophy, just like Steven Gerrard retired without winning the Premier League.
That's
oh yes, he was in that period. I think he and Michael Owen never won the Premier League.
Michael Owen, I think, won it with United.
No, but with Liverpool, he started with Liverpool.
Yes,
right?
he started with Liverpool. He never won it at Liverpool, but yes, I'm very sure he came over to United and he won the league over there.
But I mean, Steven Gerrard did win the Champions League.
Steven Gerrard did win the Champions League. That's
Yeah,
right.
so Virat has already won 3. He's won ICC events. He's not won the IPL. But great effort. And yeah, at the halfway point, RCB continued to be this frustrating enigma. I mean, it's one match is done. The second and final game of this 2-match series is going to happen day after tomorrow.
In fact, tomorrow.
In fact, tomorrow. Yes, thanks to the rain in Chinnaswamy. Thank you so much for ensuring we burn more of the midnight oil. But Sridhar Savaikar.
Just not enough runs in all 3 games by RCB. The bowlers have really put up a fight and he has loved Patidar, the captain, especially in the losses. Let's go down. Patidar is taking the aggressive option each time, bringing strike bowlers at crucial points, attacking fields after a wicket. He has been tactically spot on.
Today, again, Patidar didn't give up hope. He really ensured that, okay, whatever it is, he told the bowlers, bowl in the right channels. I will give the pressure. I will maintain that the fielder. Today, look at it. Third man, normally where most of the strokes would be played, he had a fielder there at all times. So it was very, very smart captaincy by Rajat Patidar. But again, undone by his own batters here. His batters, his
Captaincy
batting.
has been good, but the team needs to step up as well, right? The team, I think at the auction table itself, it looked like that
The batters need to step up.
and they also punched above their weight to begin with the IPL. Otherwise, I don't think many of us had them in our top 4.
I had them, but then see, that is the reason. For 83 crores, the second highest purse in the IPL auction, they could have had so many more options.
And so much more diversity in there.
Exactly. That is why they could have done so much more with 83 crores here. Punjab have done it well. They cracked it finally after so many years. 11 years, if I may be right. 11 years they have cracked it. But RCB with so much money, they didn't crack it. That's the thing. I mean, disaster-wise, if I have to look at it, RR top the list as far as disasters are concerned. Their auction was a unprecedented disaster.
No, not their auction. I think their retention list was
Retention. Yeah, that led to a disaster because Jurel, Hetmeyer, Jaiswal, Samson, Sandeep, Parag, all getting retained. They were left with only 41 crores in the auction.
The best value for money over there, I think, was their uncapped player in Sandeep.
Sandeep Sharma, yes. And you have 2 uncapped, Sandeep and MS Dhoni for CSK in that sense. But CSK today, by the way, major news that Devol Brevis has been included. Baby
For
AB.
Gurjapneet Singh.
Yeah, Gurjapneet Singh out, so yes.
Ronit Datta is saying that wasn't really the best of the statements on Shashank. He scored a crucial 16 in the low scoring match against, I think, KKR and contributed 50 in Gujarat game. What more do you want? I think the statement that I made on Shashank, the only point was that he hasn't really lived up to the standards that he set for himself in 2024. There have been a couple of good knocks, but that's just 2 good knocks out of 7 games. We take a look at the sample size in the remaining games also. Yeah, one more 40 odd. So overall, the consistency is missing. That's why it was mentioned that it's just one of the weak areas that Punjab have currently. He scores well in the next couple of games, and I think Punjab Kings will be a total unit.
Yeah, I mean, see, their spinners, there's no backup to Yuzi Chahal. That is one area. There's Harpreet Brar. I think those two.
Praveen Dubey, I think. As the backup.
But you'll have to play Harpreet Brar, yeah. But I think you bowled him in the wrong place today because
Exactly my point. Because if you see Harpreet Brar is no new customer to this league. You look at his numbers, especially in the middle overs. If he's been used well, he has turned out to be one of the more economical bowlers. Not the highest wicket takers, but if you're looking at somebody who can be extremely economical in the middle overs, Harpreet Brar is your answer.
exactly. So yes, it's not been all that great for the RCB team, but yes, even PBKS don't look a perfect team at this point. I mean, my definition of a perfect team would be the Mumbai Alpha
Indians.
team of 2020.
But more than some of their parts.
Yeah, more than the sum of
Definitely.
their parts. Kevin Abraham, though, saying RCB are still in the reckoning. Delhi has peaked too early.
Once a famous, legendary cricketer said that it's better to peak early than to not peak at all.
No, it's important to peak at the right time, according to me. There have been teams who peak early on and then they never really come back.
See, peaked early on, like if I have to look at the Delhi
Rajasthan.
example, no, Delhi Daredevils of 2012.
See, I won't be surprised if Delhi Capitals go on to repeat the heroics of KKR in 2024. You look at the number of games that KKR lost last season, and it wasn't down to the fact that KKR played bad cricket. It was because of the 2 special brilliances of 2 batters.
Three, man.
Josh Butler, and I'm forgetting the other game.
Johnny Bairstow.
Johnny Bairstow and
Johnny
Shashank Singh.
Bairstow,
Yeah,
yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
So that is, I see, if Delhi do that, much deserved. I mean, we want a new team winning an IPL title.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
At the 4, that is yet to win. So yeah, we want it. And Dex is saying, said you met Tristan Sawyer interview. How was he as a person? Obviously 6'4", and do you agree with KL that he'll be one of the best in the world? I mean, I don't know what the best in the world, but he's definitely the best for the Delhi Capitals for the past 2 seasons. And yes, he is quite tall, and he doesn't speak much, Dex. I mean, if you ask a question, he'll just give a straight answer. He won't sugarcoat his words or anything.
Man of few words.
Man of very few words, but he lets the bat do the talking. I mean,
which is more important.
Which is very important. Last year, he was one of the stars for the Delhi Capitals with 150, average of close to 50 and 190 strike rate.
187 his strike rate last year. Phenomenal.
Phenomenal, and a very nice guy to speak to. And Siddharth is saying, Harshad bhai, what a day to wear United jacket. Miraculous match at Old Trafford in long time. Casemiro rolling back years and Harry Maguire clutch.
Maguire scored the winner for you in the FA Cup final last year. That also was in the dying stages. Yesterday's match, my goodness. You're missing out on life. I've been saying this quite a lot over the last 24 hours. People have missed out on life in a big way. If you follow sport
7-6.
if you didn't see that match, it was something out of the world. You don't see 5 goals being scored, and it was the first time that there were 5 goals that were scored in extra time. And a team that had conceded 4 goals, the opposition was down 1 man as well. It was the stuff of dreams. It's the theatre of dreams for a reason. Thankfully, from the theatre of nightmares that it was and has been this whole season, this match was of a lot of significance and a lot of relevance, and you saw one of perhaps the best comebacks that this stadium has seen, and there's been plenty, but this one will be right up top.
Hopeful for a UEFA Europa League
See,
title?
the campaign hinges on this trophy now. It's been such a disappointment, such a dismal show. What I liked the most was the desire to win yesterday. There was genuine desire, something that has been lacking in United. But yesterday, the manager, the fans, the players, everyone was on the same page. And the manager said as well towards the end, those last couple of goals, the sound from the stadium that emerged was perhaps the best that he's seen in over all these months that he's been around.
Yep. Austin Kuna saying, Sid sir, I initially felt RCB had a bad auction, but they actually cracked it. Bangalore is just a curse. They are losing tosses and getting below par scores, going hard and losing with 10, 11 balls to spare. I mean, what do you do? That's why I asked, where will you get a new home venue? Will you want to play in Allur?
Allure, I was saying.
You can't do it right now.
And then all your visiting sides will start practicing at Chinnaswamy.
Yes. I mean, if you want, give a petition to RCB, change my home venue. You can play in Allur, you can play anywhere else also. If you look at, you can play in Mysore. But it won't be Royal Challengers Bengaluru, it will be Royal Challengers Mysuru then. So, better not go there then. Priyanshu is saying though, openers can't be blamed in modern day T20. They have to utilize the power play and attack. Middle order has to adapt. That's why Delhi Capitals are very lucky to have KL Rahul at number 4.
I 100% agree.
Yep. And Kevin Abraham, Arshdeep should have been the man of the match, took the openers out. Although I believe why Marco Jansen couldn't have been the man of the match. He stifled the flow of runs in the middle overs also, didn't give them a chance. And Dev Pratap Singh Chauhan, opponents just need to get Virat and Salt out. Rest are good only when the stage is set. Virat, 3 low scores and RCB lost all 3 matches. Play Padikkal on such wickets, but they don't seem to have confidence in Dev.
They started the season backing him, but I think they've sort of lost that trust.
It was a
It made sense to
tactical
not have
decision.
him, because you wanted just 7 batters. There was no reason for an
He
8th
came
batter
good.
in
He's
14.
only come good in 1 match, I think.
Last game.
RR.
RR.
Yeah, so no further comments. I think that's about it. And that this we took. So, yeah, Shreyas Iyer has been spooked by the short ball started from Jofra Archer. But yes, this long day has come to an end thanks to the Chinnaswamy rain. And yes, more games are coming at Chinnaswamy. I think we'll have to keep a close eye on the weather, folks. So, yep. Double header Saturday and Sunday. Tomorrow
4
it is.
games in the next 40
Yes.
hours now.
DC versus GT in Ahmedabad, and the 2 Delhi boys, one will not be here, but this Delhi boy will really be gunning for. Yeah. He'll be gunning for his team and
Same thing. He is glued to the TV. I know
Yes.
that on DC.
and LSG
Keeps on
versus
The
LS.
Totka will continue today.
Oh, anyway, we at 3 o'clock. I'll only have to do the toss because I come in early. So yes,
I don't do the toss on Delhi Capital.
Yeah, he doesn't.
The Totka.
Yeah, LSG versus RR. Then that is the second game. But Sunday is Super Sunday because game 2 of the 2-match series, PBKS versus RCB at Mulanpur.
3:30.
Yes. Followed by, El Clasico Part 2. Mumbai Indians versus CSK at Wankhede. So tomorrow, do join us at 3 p.m. for the toss. And from me, Harshit, Gulati and Shashwat, it is bye-bye, Nandri, Vanakkam, Shubhratri, Shabba Khair. Eat your vegetables.
And no trouble your mother.
Stay safe and subscribe to Sports Today.